What's up, guys? Dylan here, bringing you an underused battle with the team that I just did a team building video on, the other day. I had to re-upload it, so if you can watch it with music and enjoy the music, go for it. But if you can't, for copyright reasons or whatever, there's also the no music variant. And I will be not uploading with signed musicians with copyright and everything. I'll see what I can do about getting like some local music or some unsigned music in the background. But that's something for next time. Right here we're seeing Greek Pro Trainer. I assume that's trainer. Yeah, trainer's team, and he's got a Roserade. Looks like a possible lead. If he feels like being really aggressive, he could go with Darmanitan and then just U-turn right out. I'm going to assume that he's going to lead with that Roserade, though, and I am going to take a very aggressive approach myself and just lead with Houndoom. And he ends up going with Pythagoras instead. So here I'm just going to drop a Toxic right off the bat. I know that it's not going to do so well at the whole bluffing thing, but Pythagoras can be a real pain to whittle down, so I'm going to hit it with a Toxic and just let it die throughout this battle, as he's going to set up a Trick Room here. So I'm going to get right out of here and go into Clefable, who can take a hit, but he's going to go into Snorlax actually. So I'm going to double switch into Gligar. Gligar doesn't really care too much about anything that Snorlax can do. Just laughs at body slams and whatnot. And I'm going to throw up my rocks when I have the chance, as he goes for another body slam. And then I'm going to roost up on this last turn of his Trick Room. And, he pretty much did nothing with that. So I'm going to drop a Toxic now. Again, because I don't know if he's going to stay or not. And, if I get the Toxic on Snorlax, I'll at least be able to figure out if it is a Rest Talking or what, or if it's a Curselax or something. I would imagine that it's not a Curselax because of the time that it takes to set that up, plus the fact that Trick Room only lasts 5 rooms, or 5 turns, so I don't think it's going to be a Curselax. But just in case, I'll get that Toxic on it. And I'm going to go for an EQ here, just out of lack of anything better to do. I don't want to switch out and let anything else really take a hit. But it'll do a little bit of damage, and he's going to go for the Crunch here, and I'll see eventually what I'm assuming at this point that it's a Rest Talking Snorlax, so he's probably going to go to bed this turn, and I'm going to go into whom? Who should I go into? I'm thinking Feraligatr. I can set up with Feraligatr a bit. And with the Dragon Dances wouldn't be too upset. But he switches out and goes into his Darmanitan, actually. And he's going to outspeed me, but I don't know if he can KO me. I know that Gligar doesn't really care about anything Darmanitan can do either. And so I'm going to play it safe and go back out into Gligar to take any hits he has and, laugh at them. Yep, he goes for the superpower. And I'm going to roost up here, because you know what? No, I'm just gonna go for I'm gonna roost up in case he goes into Roserade. He goes for the Earthquake, assuming that I'm going to switch out, which means I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. He stays and goes for the Flare Blitz, which actually does a bit of damage, but not enough to be too scary, especially since he doesn't pull the really lucky burn or anything, and then goes right down to the EQ. What is he going to go into now? I imagine Shaman or Roserade, but he goes into Hard Steel Cock, which is a very appropriate name for this thing, because it is a fucking cock to deal with. I hate those things. I do about a third with the EQ, which actually isn't too bad, especially since they lack recovery other than rest. I'm going to go for another Earthquake, because I don't the only attack that it can do to me really is Seismic Toss, which I can recover off, or roost off, if he does go for it. He goes for the T-Wave. I'm part ground, therefore I do not care. and I am 2 hits away from KOing this thing, you know, if he stays in. But he doesn't. He switches out for Roserade finally, but an Earthquake is going to do quite a bit of damage, but I don't trust myself to survive Leaf Storm or anything like that, because I'm physically defensive, not especially, so I'm going to go out into Clefable. Scout what he's going to do. He goes for the Giga Drain, which I probably could have survived, but better safe than sorry. And, you know, I'm going to wish up here so that I can pass a wish to something. You know, it can come in for freezies. And, oh geez, what do I really not want to be toxic? I guess I'll go with one of these two here. Feraligatr is a less good choice against Roserade herself, especially with Shaman still around. I think I'll go with Sceptile, actually. Yeah, let's go into Sceptile. I know it's not going to be as easy to get rid of Roserade with Sceptile due to lack of physical attacks, but I will hit her with this HP Fire, see if it does good enough damage. I mean, I imagine it'll do a bit. It goes out into Shaman, actually, who is going to take quite a bit of damage from the HP Fire. Not quite enough to KO this turn, but enough that, you know, he may not want to stay. And so I'm just going to go for another HP Fire. He does stay, and tries to set Seize up on my Sceptile, I guess assuming that I was going to be scared out myself, but I'm not, especially now that I have this Shaman in checkmate if it tries to stay in for another turn. He also, you know, he may think that I'm Scarfed right now, and that's something that is, you know, only my advantage. And he switches out into Pythagoras. I did switch Leaf Storm for Energy Ball and go with White Herb instead of the Grass Gem, as per viewer suggestion. You know, I love when you guys give me feedback and help me out with these teams, because I mean, I have fun with it, but I'm not the best, so you know, what can you do? You guys help me out a lot with your suggestions, and they usually end up working very well. So I'm gonna go with another. No, I'm gonna switch out into. I'm gonna go back into Gligar to continue to stall this Snorlax a bit. Because I want to see if I can get that thing to rest or not. Drop a Toxic on it. So yeah, I put the Leaf Storm on because the Leaf Storm is more powerful than a Grass Gem boosted Energy Ball, and you know, I can only use it once or twice. You know, once after that, but it's he goes for a Sleep Talk, so it is a Rest Talking. I assume that he hit the wrong one right there. Or I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know. Why did he go for a Sleep Talk in the middle of this? Anyway, so I'm just going to go for an EQ, and I'm going to see if I can get rid of this thing. Oh, and I pull a crit, so I might. There we go. That crit definitely mattered on this Snorlax. Sweet, because I hate those things. And it's gone. I should be able to get rid of this Registeel before too long, too. He tries to set up more rocks. I don't know what he's doing at this point. I think he's pretty much given up. Goes out into Roserade. I will Roost up. I imagine he's going to go for the Giga Drain, but I should be able to survive, and I can, because Giga Drain, you know, as decent a move as it is, just doesn't have the power to really pull down a defensive poke. Even though I don't have a lot of special defense EVs, you know, it just doesn't quite have the oomph behind it that other attacks do. And yeah, so I'm going to go for another EQ here as he re-Giga Drains, and that'll put me in position to be able to KO with pretty much anything else. So I'm going to send Houndoom in now, and, you know, Fire Blast away at the rest of his team pretty much. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's, you know, it's just Roserade and Shaman's just about gone as it is. So Fire Blast here. I should get rid of Roserade unless I miss like that. Sad. Oh, I really want the 6-0. Darn it. Well, if I didn't miss the fire blast, it would have been. What can you do? I just realized that I almost had it. So in comes his shaman, who I will take care of with Skeptile. With a nice HP fire. It could be, anything, but that super effective makes me feel better about myself. You know the way it is. And there goes Shaman. And a good game. HHGG. The 5-0 win due to the miss on Houndoom's Fire Blast. Tears, a million of them. Anyway, so yeah, this team is working out pretty decently. I haven't made too many ridiculous changes, as you can see, just that Skeptile one. But it's turning out pretty well, and I don't know why I've never used any of these Pokemon before. They're all pretty solid, honestly. I need a phaser though. I've something with Whirlwind. I don't know if Gligar gets Whirlwind or not. I don't think I've ever seen Gligar with Whirlwind. So, I'll have to check that out, but I'm gonna aim to put some sort of phasing or at least taunting on this team. But I prefer phasing because then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm all set up." Oh, and taunting, it's just like denied from the get-go. Anyway, alright, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep coming back. I will keep putting more up. Au revoir and goodbye. Yes, that was redundant.